Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on what time zone you're in or what time you're watching this video. Today we're back with Ren, and this time with Diazepam. I know we've kind of been doing a lot of Ren, but honestly, like, his music has been such an experience. Just the performance, the lyricism, the visuals of everything we've been seeing has just been just like top notch. It's been a while since I've been so excited about an artist, but I am super excited to continue on this journey with all of you, and I'm so grateful to be doing this as a collective. Like, it's just been so awesome. Today, in the chat below, you'll be seeing that we have some opportune titles for the community name. So please vote on the one that you feel is best. I might do it in a Google form, actually. Maybe that'll be better. If not, it'll be in like multiple chat pins, and you just upvote the one that you like. These have come from people who are in the community itself, so it's kind of exciting to have a group name from the community itself. I love that. But without further ado, jump right into it. I look like an 8-bit. Something that's so cool about that is look at the apartment. Like, his apartment definitely stands out from the rest. It's kind of got so much graffiti, and it almost could be like the writing on the wall, right? Like in your mind, your soul itself. But also we hear like this muffled voice in the background. Diazepam tends to kind of make everything muted, and I wonder if that's kind of what that's supposed to signify, which is really, really cool. But I love this art style. It's so different. We haven't seen something like this so far in Ren's videos, and this is brilliant. I love it.
Oh my, I seem to feel so much better when it kicks in. Chemical kitchen, feel my brain destruct.
What the soul in that, like, just the, oh my god, I'm not even gonna try to imitate that because it's just so beautiful. My god. Something that was cool there, a couple of things. One is he walked over to the medicine cabinet saying, oh my, oh my, we're back to oh my. But it's the chemical kitchen of diazepam, right? It gives you these chemicals that rush into your brain, and that's even what we're seeing here. But if you go back, that image of that pill kind of pouring light, it's like it provides you with this solace, this moment of sanctuary. That's this light, this beacon of light that pours forward from the pill itself. And then it almost multiplies, because now I'm assuming that, like, because the song is called Diazepam and diazepam can be highly addictive, I'm assuming this is like one pill. It's supposed to be one pill, but then it turns into 3 pills. And then, like, it's just that growth of how much you end up kind of becoming addicted to it, right? You become almost dependent on it. And this even goes back to Chalk Outlines when we were talking about that. This is kind of the same idea we're hearing here, but the soul that came through on that, it's like this passionate, like, almost lover type singing towards the diazepam, which is such an amazing thought to put towards the song, because it's like you do fall in love with it, right? You fall in love with the drug, and that's what we're seeing here. That is freaking cool.
Chemical kitchen, feel my brain destruct.
Oh, feel my brain destruct. I didn't even hear that, but you hear it start to kind of collapse, but this time it's almost a good thing, because with diazepam, it stops everything from feeling like it's so encumbering, right? It breaks it down, allowing you to kind of take a minute to yourself.
Oh, diazepam, me. Turn the volume down on my demons, and you give me relief just for a second, and you make it all so numb.
His voice, I freaking love it. It's what we were just saying, is you turn the volume down the demon. Because those voices in your head, the back of your mind, those things that are stressing you out, the things that make you feel like broken or not the value that you should have for yourself, it quiets them down, right? It brings them down. It doesn't feel as heavy when you're taking this pill. But did you notice how it it splits up into multiple diazepam pills, and that's because that's like an addiction, right? It's how addiction starts. You start off with one, then it goes to a couple, and then it goes to many. But on top of that, it almost looked like a pill box. You know what I mean? Like when you get a package of pills, like they come in this like strip box, and then you just pop one out. But it's like we popped all of them out, and then they entered our system, which is like it's like going into this tunnel that it looked like. Although I think now in retrospect, that wasn't a tunnel, was it? It is kind of a tunnel. Even on the outside, it even looks like it looks like an esophagus, right? Like your throat. And then even if you imagine it like going, that's what's happening, right? You put it in your mouth and it goes down your esophagus. And your esophagus, this is what we're seeing here. This is going to be a bit of a bio dip, but this is called peristalsis, where your esophagus, when you have food that enters it, it kind of does this wave-like muscular motion that helps massage the food down. And that's what we're seeing here, is that wave is actually the esophagus, and so the pills are going into the esophagus, and that we just took a bunch. This is so much imagery. We're 40 seconds in. I'm so sorry. I paused so much.
Leave just for a second and you make it all so numb.
Ooh, and that little heart.
Why Diazepam, do you make me feel like everything's not dissolving? Spinning doors are evolving. Swallow a tablet, I'm overindulging. I've tried Diazepam to be the optimist and resist cards folding. You're the crutch that I'm holding. Don't want tomorrow, cause right now I'm golden.
Right now I'm golden, and it's like in his mind, that's what's behind him, is that golden light, that because now finally that you've had these pills, it helps to kind of calm everything out, and now you feel like you're in the sunshine, which is golden. But on top of that, like we're saying ultimately, like we're stopping cards from folding. We're trying to be an optimist using this pill, right? That was what he just said. We're trying to be optimistic using this medication, and it helps us feel positive in that sense. But it's not always like it helps, but if you do it too much, you become addicted. It's like an optimism that you become reliant on, that you can't help but need, not want, and it does not. Now it's not just helping; it is your crutch, which goes back to crutch. It all ties together, guys. He's awesome. Oh my god! But something cool about the visuals here is part of him, right, stayed in that golden area. Right, and then the other part is now falling into this dark area, right? Because look, he's starting to fall this way, but then part of him is staying up there, and it's almost like you lose part of yourself to this darkness, which is the muted aspects of the drug itself. And to resist cards folding, like when you fold, you give up, right? It's poker terms. When you fold your hand, you're giving up that pot. You're not going in on that pot, and that's what he's saying is this medicine that it's supposed to be helping you. It helps keep you from folding, from giving up. Ren. Something really cool about that shot. It's almost like he's falling, but his hands are reaching for the golden area. I'm going to go back just to show you what I mean. Like, you see how his hands are out here? They're kind of reaching forward for the golden mindset that he wants to get back to. And maybe that's what it's like when you come off of the medication. But on top of that, the way, I didn't even realize this, but the way that he sang that, he started off with this soulfulness, this like brilliant soulfulness, and then it transitions to this like, oh my, like it's a little bit mellowed out, right? And isn't that exactly what diazepam is? It's like you could be, yeah, everything could be so loud and so brilliant. Maybe not in the nice way, but brilliant in like everything is so large kind of way. And then when you take the diazepam, you kind of mellow yourself out. You end up kind of going into this slower pace. And that's what happened with his voice. He's translating that through the pitch and through the tone of his voice itself. Man, and just the echoes, it's like hypnotic, isn't it? And that's what it kind of feels like. It's like you're under hypnosis, but it's the hypnosis of the drug. Oh, man. Oh, it's not it's because it's diazepam. But also going back to chalk outlines, it's kind of like you feel a little bit like you're dying on the inside, right? You're not yourself. It's this new version of you that you're trying to now like crawl onto, or kind of hold on to, because everything else just feels bad, right? But then through doing that, you end up almost killing part of yourself, the part of you that used to not require this addiction, the part of you that wasn't muted, right? And that's, and look, and I said hypnosis, I didn't even realize this, but look, this is almost like the hypnotic waves that you see, like television shows when they try to show you, oh, you know, like like the black circle that starts to get bigger and bigger, like wave like, and it tries to hypnotize you, but that's what happened to him. That's what the pills did to him. Ooh. Lost in your own mind. Don't lie, diazepam. Because the pill is supposed to make you feel better, right? And it does, but it's not always better, because when it feels like it's the only way to feel better, then is that even better anymore? So the pill was lying. Holy smokes. And this is the terrible thing about addiction, right? Like, people who end up in this situation, it ends up being like, you started it off because it was something that made you feel better, but then over time it becomes stronger and stronger, this urge to continue it, to pursue it, and then you become reliant on it. It becomes your only go-to, and you even if you understand that, even if you know that that's becoming a problem, it still ends up feeling like you can't get out of it, because you're trapped by it, right? My God. Tale of Jenny and Screech, Freckled Angel. I haven't seen that one yet, but a couple of you have mentioned that to me. What's the
when you leave, why can't I breathe like you've stolen my very essence, my coding? Went for a swim and then drowned in your ocean. Don't lie.
For a swim and drowned in your ocean. Oh my God. The metaphors is, it's like you take a dip, you dip your toe in, right? You take one pill and you're like, okay, this is nice. But then all of a sudden the waves come crashing and you drown, both metaphorically and like, it's like you're drowning in the pills now because there's just so many of them, right? But it's also like you're drowning in this feeling of the actual pill itself. And so it's like, and this goes back to the lie. The lie was that it's just going to be one. It's just going to make you feel a little bit better. But then it becomes this reliance on the pill that's no longer just one, it's many. And it's muted you so much that you're feeling like you're no longer yourself. You've drowned in this ocean of the pill. And I think I saw the last picture was Blind Eyed. I still have to check that out. Heard many good things, so I'm excited about that. Something also cool, you can see like he's on this subway, and maybe this is like the subway in his mind again, right? And he feels protected because he's now, the subway is also kind of the venue of the pill, the path that it takes through his system, and he's in this is his experience in the pill is in the system. Yeah.
I lied, diazepam, you promised me the world, but now I'm rotting and molding. In my face it feels swollen. Anesthetic, I block that emotion.
Really cool about that. I'm gonna show you again. If it's chalk outlines, right? That's what we've seen. Sorry, I'm missing the timing, but it's chalk outlines. That's what we were just saying. Is like, this is. I wonder if this is kind of what inspired chalk outlines. I know a couple of you mentioned, like, because I had watched chalk outlines, I should watch this. Which one? I don't know which one came first, but if this came after, that's such a cool addition. And if it came first, I wonder if like he kind of already had chalk outlines in his mind when he started writing this. Either way, like, it's amazing. It's like looking at this.
See the world, but now I'm rotting and molding. In my face it feels swollen. Anesthetic, I block that emotion.
Anesthetic, I blocked out emotion. And then we see his face, like, one, it's been muted the whole time. There hasn't really been an expression on his face, so it quite literally blocked out emotion, right? And it's an anesthetic. It helps numb something, except this time it's your emotion. But then on top of that, if you the way that that kind of like his face got boxed in there, it's putting you behind a wall. It's trapping you in the wall. You can't express your emotions, and that's what it feels like when you end up being like kind of under the influence of something, and that's the only way that you can feel better. You feel trapped in this box, but this box is also trapping everything else that feels good. And that's why it started to get darker and darker the more that his face got covered, because it's quite literally now that goldenness is gone and we're left with this chalk outline in the bleak blackness. But also on top of that, the music, the way the guitar is playing right now, it also sounds a little bit like I keep saying muted, but that's kind of the only word for it, because it's like everything starts to fade away, right? Everything starts to lose its luster in that sense. And then we're back to the chalk outlines. And this is what happens is you block everything out, and so you end up feeling like a part of yourself that is no longer truly you. So part of you feels like it's died, and you're left with this outline of yourself, this hollowness, this emptiness, cascading through darkness, because it was supposed to be bring you light, but it lied to you. And like he was saying, it made the world rot, because you were supposed to bring me happiness, but all of a sudden I don't feel happiness because I don't feel anything at all anymore. I don't feel anything at all. And that's not happiness. That's not joy. That's not peace. That's empty. That's not something that we want, but it feels like we can't escape it anymore because we're trapped in it like the box. My God, Ren, what the heck, man? How are you so good at conveying this? Like this is an experience many people experience, but I've never seen it kind of presented in this sense, in this way, right? This almost sounds like it should have been a love song, a ballad for Diazepam kind of at the start, and now it's transitioning. We still have the same kind of delivery, but all of a sudden the lyrics, the meanings, the images are changing, right? It's now starting to become more bleak, more dark, and that's what's starting to happen. And that's what the addiction is. It's this initial beauty, this initial love that slowly turns parasitic, and it starts feeding off of you, but literally feeding off of your emotions, because it forces you into this hole. And that's why we're falling. We just keep falling in this blackness, and we don't know when it's going to stop. We want it to stop, but we don't know when that's going to happen. Oh man. And so then when you're out of the box, when you're no longer on the pill, you hear those voices, and those voices could actually be other people. It could be people that are trying to get you to stop, or it could be the voices in your head. And that's why now the pill is back. We're like, oh, well, I'm starting to hear those voices. It's starting to overwhelm me. I need to have another one. And that's what you end up doing, because that's what makes you feel comfortable now, because you're reliant and you feel addicted. And this is such a tragic experience because it happens to so many people. And like you end up with this drug addiction, or it doesn't even have to be a drug addiction. It could be literally any addiction. It could be alcohol. It could be like, I don't know, video games. It could be gambling. It could be whatever it is, right? Because in those moments you feel better. You're able to achieve some semblance of peace, but then it ends up being this addiction, which is now it's no longer peace. It's like I said before, it's empty. It's a hypnotic pattern. Sorry, I missed that. I want to go back and see what it said. Oh, is that the chemical formula for diazepam? Oh, and then the information. This is what you'd see on the box, right? And that's what becomes part of like kind of your mindset. And that's what's happening now. It's his head, but this is what it's constantly thinking about is diazepam. Oh my God. Take the pill and everything gets golden.
I'm carried away. Anesthetic bleeding, a place for the pain. Self-destructive healing is one and the same. Oh, diazepam.
Did you say synesthetic dreaming? And then anesthetic bleeding? Anesthetic bleeding is such a beautiful way to put that, because it's like you're hiding away that pain, right, with these pills, and it mutes it. And that's what an anesthetic does, is it helps kind of relieve pain in certain areas. So like when you take an anesthetic in, like, I don't know, if you're getting some sort of dental work done, you get an anesthetic here and it numbs the mouth. At this time it's anesthetic bleeding, probably the internal bleeding, the emotions we're experiencing inside, but we cover it up, we numb it with this pill. And that's what helps us escape that pain. But we're still bleeding. We're not dealing with the actual bleeding because we're just dealing with the feeling, the symptom. We're not dealing with the root cause. I missed the last part. Sorry, I'm just gonna, oh no, he was starting again. Sorry. I'll listen again.
Anesthetic bleeding, a place for the pain. Self-destructive healing is one and the same. Don't lie, diazepam.
Self-destructive healing. It's one and the same. Self-destructive, comma, healing. One and the same. Because it's supposed to be healing, but it's become something that is self-destructive. And then just the visuals of like him turning, and like every time it's like we see the diazepam kind of slide in, his head is turned in that direction, and it's almost like we're putting into the box, but the box is us. We are now the box because his head is always turned in the direction that the diazepam is coming in, which represents the constant flow of it into us, like we are now the container for it. Holy smokes.
Synesthetic dreaming, I'm carried away. Anesthetic bleeding, a place for the pain. Self-destructive healing is one and the same.
I forgot to touch on synesthetic dreaming. It's like this, it's synesthetic. So I believe synesthetic basically means that it is fabricated, it's not real. I could be wrong about that, but if that's the case, then it's these dreams that we see, but they're not real. Like they're not how we really feel. This is just it's the experience of the drug. And in what we just saw was him on this subway train, looking out, trying to get out, almost like he's trapped. And that's what we were looking at. He's starting to run through it, and he's feeling trapped in the subway train because that's what the subway train is. It's his vessel that's carrying him through, but it's the diazepam that's the vessel. He wants to escape that vessel. And he does towards the end there, but when he's running, we're back at our medicine cabinet because like we did escape that moment, but then after a while we find ourselves kind of coming back. I hope he doesn't take it. Oh my God. Ren is a gift, man. Like it's one thing to be able to put all of this into words. It's a whole other thing to be able to say it or to actually vocalize. Is like, and what I mean by that is you can write all this down, but to actually expose this to other people and share this with others, you know, the bravery that takes to dive into that depth is so, it's immeasurable. And he does it without hesitation. He gives us everything. He bears his soul to us. He opens up his heart and lets us in because he wants us to understand that we're not alone. And he wants us to understand that there are other people going through the same experience and that we're still connected. And that like just this whole, like this is his whole persona. It's so good. It's not even, I shouldn't even say persona because it's who he is. You know what I mean? He lives through music, but he also helps us live through his music. He helps bring the experience to life for us so that we can kind of open our eyes to what is happening. Because when people go through addiction, it's not something you want to share, but look at what he's doing here. He's just telling us, like, he's showing us his addiction. And then we can then look at our own selves and reflect on it and take a moment to kind of think about how our lives we might be experiencing something similar, and how seeing others go through it helps us feel strong because it's not just us. We're not in this on our own. The human experience. You know what I mean? My God. Ren, like, I don't know if you're ever going to see these videos, man, but dude, you're brilliant. You spread so much love, so much care, so much like, and just you bring so many important topics to light, to attention that need to be talked about. that need to be discussed, but that many people are afraid of discussing. Many people would not openly bring this to light. One, for the fear of being ridiculed or mocked, which you shouldn't be. If anyone is experiencing anything like this, like going through addiction, know that one, you're not alone, and two, you have no reason to be ashamed. Others go through it. Many people all over the world, I would say every single person has a vice of some sort that we use to kind of get through some pain in some way. And we just don't talk about it enough. For me, honestly, music is probably one of them. Or even like video gaming, I do that a lot. And sometimes it's just to escape some of my pains. And that's a part of our life, right? We look for solace in places where we can find it, and then when we do find it, we kind of crave it. So you're not alone. I want you to know that you're not alone. And you're gonna get through it. You're gonna get through it. You don't have to do it on your own. You do it together with us as a community. We can help each other out through these times, because man, it's so important to be a unit, one unit working together to get through our problems. But also, Ren, man, like the way you turn these ideas into such beautiful works of art, and it touches so many people. Like I'm flabbergasted. It's just so amazing. And I hope that I know you're going through a lot right now. I hope that the recovery is swift. I hope that you are doing well. And I hope that you know that you're loved. Because my God, there's this, just deserve it, man. And honestly, for everyone out there, I hope that you're having that even if you're going through trouble, if you're going through trauma, pains, I hope you know that you are loved and that you have people in your corner. Man, I'm always just so impressed. Just so impressed. If you liked what you saw, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We always have great discussions in the comment section, and I love it, man. I love that so much, guys. I think human connection is like one of the most important. And honestly, we don't get it enough, but we should. And I love that we're doing it here, and I'm so happy about that. So thank you guys for that. It honestly makes my day to just have these conversations every day, and it maybe that's becoming one of my vices, honestly. And I'll have to reflect on that. And you know what brought me to that? Ren brought me to that reflection. But honestly, in my eyes, there are worse things, and so I love it. I love talking to you guys. So, man, thank you guys for that. Thank you guys for the support and love. Not even just about the videos, but just in life itself. I hope that you have an amazing day, and I hope that your week is better than your day, your month is better than your week, and then your year is better than your month. Until next time.